weather outside is not that cold, and if you take my hand, I'll walk with you to Georgia.
What's going on, everyone, and welcome back to Country with Celine. I'm your host, Celine Chris, and please welcome back today's OG, Chris Moreno.
It wasn't cause I didn't show up when you needed. Wasn't that I didn't put work in to keep it. Learning to always learning you. I was walking the line to try and keep you mine.
Chris, how are you doing today?
Yes, good. I am an OG of this podcast. I love it. Good to be back. Good to see you.
Season one, I swear, one of the first couple episodes I had you on because I heard your song, Somebody New. I'll never forget it.
Oh yeah,
Yeah. Remember
that's right.
That? They got all
I know. I have the little poster thing in the back here of that song. Yeah, that's funny. So that was probably 2021, I think. Probably somewhere around there.
Yeah, that's why we go way back. All right, well, you've been releasing lots of songs, lots of music recently, especially in 2023. But before we touch on that, because I'm going to touch on that, we have to talk about something big that just happened this weekend, the Super Bowl. So, Chris, are you a 49ers fan or a Chiefs fan?
Yes. I'm the wrong person to ask about any of this. I've no invested interest in any of it, to be honest.
No.
And I hate that answer because everyone's like so into it. No, so I'm just gonna say I'm a bitter Patriots fan at this point because I'm from Boston, so it's like we had such a dynasty now, and now it's not a thing. So it's so
Tom
it
Brady's
is what
gone.
it is.
He's not coming back.
I know. Tom Brady's gone too, so it's okay. It's okay. I've made my peace with it.
All right, that's fair. I mean, I don't think, well, there was lots of football fans who actually watched the game for football, but there was also so many watching it just for Taylor Swift. So
I know. Well, I'm fascinated by that whole thing. Yeah, it's crazy to yeah, it's like the most watched game ever, most watched anything ever. That's wild.
yeah,
So,
pretty wild.
I mean, when it comes to Taylor, yeah, when it comes to Taylor Swift, I am a fan though. I mean, she's an incredible songwriter. So I'm always I'm on the defending side of put it that way.
That's
As
fair.
far as that conversation.
That's totally fair. How about Usher? Usher was performing the halftime show. Did you end up catching that at least?
I did actually. Honestly, that was the one thing I watched the entire thing attentively. I thought he did really well. Yeah.
Okay. So rate out of 1
Took me
to
back. What's that?
10. Rate him out of
1 to 10. I'm gonna give him an 8. I thought it was good. And I grew up in an era where I knew all of those songs, so that it was I thought it was solid.
It was. He missed a couple of his OG songs, though. We were kind of shocked about that, but he still did really good. I was waiting for Justin Bieber to come.
What song did he miss? Because I was wondering. I think there was like maybe one that I clocked that he missed.
One major one that we all realized was DJ Got Us Falling in Love. He didn't sing that one.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, so we thought for sure he was gonna sing that one, but he didn't. But he still sang his other songs. There was actually one more song that he didn't sing. Oh, and I can't remember the name of it, but there was another one that everybody knows. I just can't remember the name.
Yeah, he's got some hits. Let It Burn, In This Love in This Club, all those ones. They're good. They're all good songs.
And he's such a good performer too. So it worked well. That was a good choice for the Super Bowl to do because he's not just a singer, he's a performer. That guy was dancing like crazy. He was dripping in sweat by the end of it.
Yeah, that's honestly what I felt. I was watching and I was like, okay, I'm impressed. That's good. He's doing a good job.
So we got to see you on stage dancing like that now.
Oh yeah, yeah. Can't you see it? We're doing the Michael Jackson moves.
Yeah, you're singing some country tunes and you're just popping out the moonwalk. It's okay, it goes.
Yeah, I don't know if that's my strong suit, but never say never. Never rule anything out.
You never know what can happen. Maybe you'll pick up on it one day and we'll do it for the rest of your life on stage. You never know.
Yeah, you never know when you're just gonna catch that bug and change genres and do your thing.
Exactly. All right, now back to you. Keeping with music, 2023. I swear, every time I was on TikTok or Instagram or a Friday came around, you were releasing new music all the time.
Nice.
I couldn't keep up with all the new songs that you were releasing. So I have to ask, does this mean an album is in the work? Do you want to release like a full-length album this year? Is that what the goal is?
Actually, well, then you asked a great question. So this is like the first time I've said this out loud, but yeah, I'm definitely gonna drop an album this year.
Ah, perfect.
Yeah, it'll be a collection of maybe some of the songs from 2023 and then the new ones from this year. And I'm gonna try to mold it because it's been so long since I've had an album. So even if it's just when you go to Spotify and it's like I'm just really want that body of work. It's been too long. So um and as you said, I've dropped like I think it was like 8 songs last year and like something similar to that the year before. So I've just been on this like it's like a challenge to myself to keep writing so that I have enough material to release the songs. And honestly too, for every song you hear, and this is true for a lot of artists and stuff like that, there's maybe 5 to 10 that were written that you don't hear. So it's like that's kind of the ratio we shoot for too, is like not everything we write gets released. So we try to, it kind of keeps you on your toes, trying to create as much as possible.
You know what? Actually, I was gonna touch on that because you've released so many different songs, and I'm like, how are you coming up with all of these songs? Like, are they songs that you just write like every single weekend? Are they songs that you have in the vault? Just like you were saying, like because there's are a lot of songs that you don't end up releasing, you just end up keeping. So these songs that you put out last year, are any of them from a couple years ago that you just decided to release now?
Yeah, that's a great question. There are sometimes it'll take a year or even like a year and a half for me to like have a song hang around and for me to be like, okay, this one's like still has some something to it for me. So some songs are automatic. There's a couple I actually released last year where it was like I wrote it and then 2 months later or 3 months later it was out. But that's not quite always as common. Usually I like to sit with them for a bit and because whenever you write anything, you think it's the best thing ever in the moment. And then sometimes it's like a couple days later, you're like, it's not quite what I thought it was. But if it hangs around in your head and like, then you got something. So, um, yeah, I like to test the waters before I go in the studio and record it and do all it takes to get a song.
Well, how often though do you write songs? Is it something that you do every other weekend or?
Oh, so well, so this I don't stick to this, but what I attempt to do is try to write just a little bit every morning. And it's almost like I try to sit down and see if there's any inspiration there or whatever. And then almost every day, and then I'm also like collaborating maybe once a week or so I try to write a few songs a month at least, usually a little bit more. But writing is one of those things, the more you do it, the more it kind of comes easy. So I try not to go too long without writing. So the more the better.
That's fair. The more
But
the
yeah, I mean, you also, you go through seasons where sometimes you have more, yeah, and sometimes you have more inspiration than other times too. You can't really control them.
okay, well, take us through the morning. So you were saying sometimes you wake up in the morning, you sit down and write music. So for all the Moreno maniacs out there, take us through that exact process. We wake up, we grab coffee, we grab a beer. What are you grabbing in the morning to go sit down and to go write some songs?
Yeah, grab Bud Light as soon as I wake up. No. Yeah, so I wake up and I don't know about you, but I just find that my brain is a little bit sharper in the morning. And that's before I've gone down the rabbit hole checking my phone and stuff like that. So, anyways, I wake up, I drink water first because I keep hearing these experts say you should wait on the coffee. So I drink the water first for like the first hour. I try, and then I go to coffee because I'm obsessed with coffee. It's hard for me to sustain that waiting period. But and then I'll do some journaling usually, and I might go through my phone and look at old song ideas and just titles and stuff like that. And then by the time I'm sitting down with a cup of coffee, that's when I'm writing, and sometimes it's just a musical part, just trying to see if anything's there, or yeah, usually for me it starts with the melody because I'm just really about the feel. Like the lyrics will always come, I feel like, but the feeling is the important part. Um, so I start with that, and I usually go for about an hour. And if something's there, I'll keep it going and try to get a song out of it. And if it's not, I just try not to judge myself and just kind of walk away and just, maybe come back to it later.
All
Um,
right, well, that's
I don't like to, yeah, you can't force it. It's either kind of there or it's not. So
a morning spent with Chris Moreno. I'm sure everyone's gonna love
yeah,
that.
yeah. Well, insider info right there.
Yeah, little. I know nobody really asks those questions. Nobody really asks like, what exactly do you do when you wake up in the morning? So that's something
I
different.
know. Well, I love that kind of stuff though, because I'm always curious what other people are doing. And um I don't know, I feel like the older you get, the more it's like it's good to have your structures in place that let you kind of optimally do what you want to do.
Mhm. It's actually smart that you don't go on your phone in the morning. Because I've read studies too that it's bad and you should avoid your phone even before you go to bed. You should avoid going on your phone for a while because it can screw up, I think, your sleep cycle because you're not actually
Yeah,
it keeps you
yeah.
awake. Um, but
I'm
yeah,
not great at it, but I try. Yeah, that's I do my
it's
best.
hard because we live on our phones. So the first thing we
Yeah,
do in the morning is check. Did we get any texts last night? Did somebody post something of me today? Like you're just trying to check to see what's going on in the world. Because even the news, we get the news on our phone. So whenever anything happens, we check our phones. It's
yeah, oh,
so
yeah. It's yeah, we're full blown addicted. At least I am at this point. So it's any little bit that I can pull back, even like 5 or 10% is a win.
it's a win for sure. Now before we
Yeah,
get into more about the album, coffee. You said coffee is your favorite thing. So what type of
yeah.
coffee do you like? Decaf, double, two milk, one sugar. What are we doing?
I don't think I've ever drank a decaf. I think it's always got to have the caffeine. I love caffeine. Uh, Caffeine and nicotine are my two favorite drugs. I'm a I'm a sugar and like Splenda. Or sorry, I'm a cream and Splenda guy for
Cream.
stevia.
Oh,
Yeah,
I don't.
yeah,
Not many girls can do cream, so that's good that you could do cream.
yeah. I know. I'm not gonna pretend I'm sitting here drinking it black. No, it's got cream in it. So
That would be harsh. But apparently, black coffee is the best coffee for you. So
I know. Yeah, yeah. There's nothing wrong with that. But no, I sweeten it up a little bit, and usually have like one or two in the morning, and then I'll have one in the afternoon before the gym. So is that a lot?
I think that's a lot. I don't drink coffee like that. Mine's like once in a while when I feel like I have just a craving for it. I'll go and I never get a hot coffee. I always get iced coffee all the time.
Nice. Yeah, I do love the iced coffee. Those are the best.
Especially on a nice summer day. Oh, beautiful. Vibes are high.
Well, thanks for making me feel like an addict. Appreciate it.
No problem. That's what I'm here for, Chris. That's what I'm here
I'm
for.
actually trying to get it right now. So
You got coffee in your hand, and I got my whole Stanley water in my hand.
there you go.
One of
You're
us is
healthier than I am.
healthy. One of us is healthy. One of us is.
Yeah, one of us, absolutely.
Oh, that's
That's
too funny. Okay, so back to the album here. How many songs are we thinking? Because I know you were saying how you want to pull some of the songs that you released last year and put them on the album. So how many roughly are we gonna do? Like what Morgan Wallen did with like 30 plus songs on an album? Are we thinking less than that?
Yeah, no, I don't love that. And he's such a anomaly because like all those songs are actually like really good. I don't love I don't like how we're shifting, and I know that I'm releasing a good amount of music, but in the context, it's really like it's not even an album a year that I'm releasing. So it's like I like less is more still. Like I don't want to just release B songs to everybody. You know what I mean? If I don't think it's an A, I don't want to put it out to the world. So probably be like an 8 song album, probably.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't want to overdo it. I mean, I just don't think it needs, So um, I want each song to get its day. You know what I mean? So
And how
yeah. So
go on,
what's
sorry.
that?
I was just gonna ask how many songs on the album are gonna be newer songs.
I know that's what I need to figure out. At least half of it for will be new from like this year on. Probably more. Um, and
Exciting.
yeah, I've already got the next two lined up. So, um, yeah, there's plenty coming.
Well, the
And
next
I'm trying to mix it up a little bit too, sound wise. So
well, the next two that you have coming out, do you have a date in mind as to when you think these songs will be coming out? Like before the summer?
yeah, one song is coming out next month for sure. And then I've been shooting for like every 6 to 8 weeks, just having a new song out. So
That's how you stay relevant, so it's a good thing. As long as you keep
yeah,
music coming out, people are going to be listening, your streams are going to go up, your listeners are going to go up.
I mean that's what I'm telling myself. I'm just like, as long as I keep hitting people with it, they won't forget about me. And then, eventually I'll have a song or two that just takes off. And um so yeah, because it's just one of those things. I think consistency it's as much a benefit for me as it is for hopefully the audience. So as long as they keep the numbers are looking good. So as long as people keep listening, then I'll keep doing it. Yeah.
Well, even on TikTok too. You're very consistent on TikTok. You're always posting videos. You know what? It sounds so. I hate talking about TikTok because I feel so like, part of my language. I feel so stupid talking about TikTok because it's like, why are we
Why?
talking? I don't know. I just TikTok is such an odd concept for me sometimes. I don't know why. It's just I feel very immature talking about TikTok, I guess, because like whenever I think of it, I just think of it as a kids platform, but it's not. Like it's not at all. Like I utilize TikTok all the time. Everybody utilizes TikTok.
Honestly, I wouldn't feel that way because it's like every record label is like, how do we infiltrate TikTok? And they're the ones with all the power, right? And they're still trying to like that's what they're telling their artists to do.
On TikTok.
Like
Okay.
it's such a crazy time right now. I've literally heard of firsthand from artists of like their label won't let them release songs sometimes unless they can get it to go viral on TikTok, which is just
I think that
it's
I don't
it's
oh I don't know how I feel
I
about that.
hate it. I hate it, but it's huh?
I don't know how I feel about that. That's just a bit
Oh
I don't
yeah, it's yeah, something not right about that. But yeah, that's the day and age we're living in. So
Well, even there's
um
artists too that
yeah,
they pop off on TikTok because
anyways.
they have one viral song and then they get signed with someone, but they can't release that same viral song again. So it's like, and then they end up getting dropped by their label or just put on the back
Yeah,
label. And it's like, I like labels shouldn't look for people who just have that one hit song and that's it. Like you should look for someone that actually has substance behind their music and like all of their stuff is good, not just that one viral
yeah,
song.
no, I mean I agree. Like exactly, because careers are built on um you need like once you have one song, you're gonna need more. You're gonna need more and more and more. So it's like, yeah, careers aren't built that way. But yeah, that's why a lot of people, not to say that I would never be open to the label conversation because I would, but it's why I'm fine with being independent for now. And there's a lot of artists that we're actively choosing to be independent because then we can control when the music goes out. And we just have all the control, you know what I mean? So
Yep.
um yeah, you can see there's both sides to it, but it's an interesting time. I'll leave it at that.
It's a very interesting time. And I mean, there's pros and cons to everything, and especially to that as well. But speaking of your TikTok, this is what I just wanted to ask because I know you're so consistent and you're always posting. How much is in your draft right now? Like, what numbers in your draft? How much you got?
um so it's probably like only 10 because instead of being smart about it, I do everything like, oh, I feel like I need to post right now. I should be more regimented, but I'm just like, I'll be like one day, like, I'll be like, oh, what song do I want to post today? Like, it's just kind of like, there's no rhyme or reason to it. It's all random. Like,
Okay, that's fair. I mean, there's
yeah,
also those schedules that you can go by too. Everyone posted like, oh, you should post at 7 a.m. on a Monday or like,
I know. I do try to stick to after 5 p.m. I don't even know if that's smart, but that's like the nighttime,
I
you
feel like
know.
that's when most people are on their phones because like they're either A, just leaving work or they're home,
I
they're
know.
dinner, so they have that free time.
Yeah, yeah. But there's no like rhyme or reason. Like I was at a party the other night and one guy was like, I really like this song. It was like his favorite song of 2023. And I was like, oh wow, no one really talks about that song. So I just went and posted like 3 days in a row. I'm like, let's see if I can do anything. I don't know.
It's
Just winging it.
and
Yeah.
I mean that's how you're gonna find out if your listeners, like fans, like your songs from posting
Yeah.
TikTok or Instagram, wherever, like on your socials. Because if they don't like it, they're not gonna like it, they're not gonna repost it, they're not gonna share it, they're not gonna comment. But if they do, everyone will just come after you, be like, release it, release it, release it. When are you gonna release it? Like that's all the comments are just put this song out. I need
Yeah.
this.
Yeah. You guys, the fans definitely like they dictate like what the artist prioritizes because it's like we like everything that we do. So we rely on other people's opinions to kind of let us know what they connect with.
Yep. And I understand why that is
You
because
know?
they're the ones listening to the stuff all the time.
Yeah, exactly.
Um,
Exactly.
but I was checking out your Spotify rap. So actually, speaking of your numbers here, let's just kind of touch on a couple of them. So 5.6 million streams on Spotify, 20 million combined on Apple and Spotify, 866,000 listeners. And now that's just on Spotify and in 183 different countries. So seeing those numbers, what does that mean to you? Because that's huge. And knowing your music is appreciated that much must mean the world.
Yeah, it's such a crazy thing. I mean, I'll just cliche answer is like that's literally what keeps me going is knowing that okay, people are listening because it's right because it's
Mhm.
if I'm putting music out, no one's reacting to it, then it's well, it can only do that for so long. So it's amazing, and I'm extremely grateful. And I think like the most important thing I try to remember too is like when people give me when I meet people or if like someone uses like my song in their wedding or it's like these like I'll hear about these things and people tell me, but it's like I try to sometimes I forget that like obviously some of those listeners are not big fans. They just happen to like stumble on the song or whatever. But the fact that there's so many instances of people like integrating my music into their life and then like not only that, but for whatever, they're like, this is my favorite song. Like the fact that that can happen in a time when there's so much music and they can listen to any artist that they want is like the most validating thing ever. Like it literally is like that alone keeps me going.
I
Um,
love that. I love
so yeah, so it's I mean it's the most important thing in the world to me, but it is hard to sometimes like because people will tell you like you'll get comments and like sometimes it's hard to remember like no these people mean it like it's you know what I mean and it's like so it's extremely humbling and um I think as long as I have the passion to do it and like that there's a reaction to it, like I can't see myself stopping.
keep going. Well, you're meant to do this. People listen to your stuff and you're really good at it. So you should stay
Thank
on
you. I
the path for a long time.
appreciate that. Absolutely.
You're
Absolutely.
welcome. And actually, speaking of wedding, you were saying how people have used your songs like for a wedding. Would you ever perform at a wedding?
Oh yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Okay.
I
This,
want to do like one of those like if like one of those surprise things like if I find out someone's using my song and then like
yes.
just like surprise them at their wedding and come sing it to them. That sounds like so much fun.
That would be amazing. Oh my goodness. I
Wouldn't
would
it?
love like Tim McGraw to show up at my wedding and like sing a song that I wanted to dance with, like with my dad. I'd be crying. Like it would be
Yeah,
so surreal and so like nice because
right.
I feel like it's hard too that some artists aren't really that open to doing that. So it's very refreshing when you hear artists that are wanting to do that.
Yeah, because I look at this whole music thing as like on one hand, I take it super seriously, but on the other hand, I'm like, this is a journey. Like I have to like this, I have to enjoy my life fully. And like moments like that, like how cool is that? Like, not everything has to be like make super practical sense or whatever. Like it's a journey. It's gotta,
Well, hopefully we see you pop up at a wedding sometime soon. That'd be cool.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
2024, that's on the bucket list. You never know.
Let's do it. Let's do it. I sang at my mom's wedding. We need to actually I sang at a couple people's weddings, but we need to bump that up. We need to
You
bump
need to
that
bump it. You need to make some like social postings and like figure that
up.
out because that would be awesome.
Exactly. Exactly.
Now, Chris, before I let you go, is there anything else you want to touch on for your fans to know about for 2024? The floor is yours right now.
Yeah, I would say thank you for listening. That's been the focus is just been the music creation and the honing in of like my sound, and I'm having a blast doing that. I think the shows have been a little bit sporadic. I'm still trying to figure out like what are the best types of venues for me to be at this stage. But that's the one kind of missing piece that I'm working on. If I haven't played your state or whatever yet, like hang tight. I'm always thinking about where to go to next and um, you know, just how to the best way to do that. So because like at the end of the day, connecting with people at shows is just, that's a whole nother level of enjoyment for me. So yeah, working hard on that.
Well, I know a place that you should come and visit. Canada. Put that
Yeah,
on your bucket list. Perform in Canada.
I know. I love Canada. I've honestly been a few times. I love it there. So yeah, we'll keep that on the list. Keep it high on the list.
I'm sure the Canadian fans would be very happy if you ever decide to cross over the border. They would fly to
Well, I
wherever.
mean, in that big festival is like a huge bucket list. What's that one you guys have? The
We
boots
have
and hearts? Is it?
Calgary Stampede. That's like a huge.
Yeah, yeah. There's one that's huge though. Or I know they're all big.
There's also
Boots.
Boots and Hearts.
That's what I was thinking. Yeah.
Boots and Hearts, yeah. Boots and Hearts, that one's in Ontario. That one's really big in the summertime as well.
Yes.
The Calgary Stampede, that's really big too. That's like a
Okay.
week almost too. I swear.
Oh
it's,
wow.
it's a long time. Yeah. But Boots can't go wrong. There's even Cavendish. Cavendish is a big festival too. That's on the East Coast, which if you ever have a chance to come up to Canada, just to come up for a vacation, I know you've been
Yeah.
to BC, which is gorgeous, but the East Coast as well, like Nova Scotia, Halifax, PEI,
Yeah.
stunning. Because you're from Boston, so you're from Boston or Massachusetts. Like where exactly?
Yeah. Yeah. Like all over. Like I grew up in Central Mass, but I lived in Boston for like
Yeah.
a decade.
So you know that all East Coast because you guys have fishing down
Oh
there.
yeah. I've driven up to Montreal and I've been to Toronto, but I haven't been to like Nova Scotia or any of those.
Well, you got to go there before
Yeah,
you
100%.
know you have free time because Canada is really pretty place to come and visit. Just stay away from the middle provinces. We don't. It's just there's nothing there, so don't.
Oh right, yeah. I know. I've heard this. I've heard the data on that. Yeah, that's funny.
Yeah, I'm Canadian and I'm like dissing my own country, but hey, I'm just being honest. I can guarantee
Yeah,
Canadians would agree with me, so it's fine.
yeah. I mean, there's parts of the U.S. where it's just like
Yeah, exactly.
super scattered too. Middle of the country kind of.
Yeah, exactly. Well, thanks so much, Chris, for joining me back on Country with Celine today. Love having you on, and I'm sure I'll see you soon once I come to Nash, and I can't
Yeah.
wait the album when it's a release.
All right. Always a pleasure. Thank you.
Now you're telling me that it's over, I'm done with trying to make it